family, phenomena of the intestinal, and also the Yangming system. Shaw means hand, Yangming is the brightness, Chin means is the pathway, Luo means is the communication, and system is integratedly which we call as a system. The hand, Yangming, also which we call as a large intestine meridian or the network system. So about the anatomical structure we would like to see. So we know out of around 1.5 meter long of large intestine, and around there are 4 to 5 different parts here. One is appendix, is the lower portion of the beginning part of the large intestine. So there is not much function of the appendix, and whenever we obtain any infection, so that slowly will go and accumulated in the appendix, and further the energy ascends upward direction where it we call as ascending colon, and further it goes on the right side direction, that is the transverse colon. When it descends, that means it goes downwards direction, that is descending colon, and also the sigmoid colon, and further the last part is the anus or the rectum. So the people who have bowel irregularities, the whole area anywhere will going to accumulated, so which is unwanted matter can be situated in this region. So now we would like to see, so what are the main traditional Chinese medicine physiology about what is the main function of the large intestine. It absorbs the food chain. That means generally what is going to happen, it absorbs, it is receiving from the small intestine to large intestine, slowly it will absorb. So which is the unwanted substances or undigested food can be eliminated through the large intestine. And further we see significantly it absorbs the water as I mentioned. So further it goes to the lungs to descend the energy to the large intestine. When the lungs always descends and the stomach always descends and the spleen always ascends upward direction of the energy, and these energies gets malfunction, and obviously it causes many related large intestine disorders because of when the lungs is, because you know that lungs is correlated to the large intestine, and also lungs is correlated interiorly and exteriorly related to the large intestine. So therefore this is once descending is not appropriately taken place, there is a stagnation more in the large intestine, and at the same time the large intestine have the stagnations or that is not passed downwards direction, so which is more accumulated, and that also causes the breathlessness because of when the lungs need to descend downwards direction to communicate to the large intestine, and therefore there is a more stagnation in the large intestine, and that time the lungs will not send the maximum energy to the colon, and thereby it causes the shortness of breath and breathlessness. As you know, there is a principle in the DCM, and each and every organ is interlinked each other, and at the same time it is indispensable to each other, and further finally it is opposite nature. So therefore, so once the lungs gets affected, there is the couple organ also affected, and there is the wife is affected, then husband also affected. The large intestine is, there is husband or wife? Husband. This belongs to the yang nature. So further you know now there is understanding the person who is having the difficulty on bowel movements, you can able to see there is a problem in the lungs also. If the person have breathlessness, that is not especially due to the lungs, which could be the cause due to and further, so what are the large intestine patterns? So why it causes all these problems, especially the bowel irregularities, constipation, diarrhea, etc., or skin related disorders? Now we can able to understand, so what we ingestion of the food. So that also most important, what we take the intake of food. So that food is really helping to us, or really it is making us to sick ourselves. So generally what we believe, when the person who forget all the things about the nature, about the food, so really we always feel like a sick. The people who live in the natural form and the people who consume the today's technology like cell phones and other things, etc., etc. So obviously the small children today have diabetes, small children have vision related problems, small children have one or other issues. So what could be the reason in the beginning stage? Because of once the technology has been raised up, everyone wants to see Facebook today, including the small children. So all these things obviously it leads to the several disorders. So therefore our Panchabhuta says which are existing is in the universe. So that universe we need to accept and imitate to our own system or to our body. When we are not doing that, when the climatic conditions is supporting to us, at the same time they are good, at the same time it itself is called as evils. So when we doesn't use appropriately, we doesn't care appropriately to utilize that climatic conditions, so obviously that also required. So we do disruption and we doesn't follow, it causes the problems. So therefore I can say the people who consume the food, whether that food is really good or really hygienic and really it is natural and it is the alkaline, or based on all these things, really this will help you. For example, the large intestine, it causes the problem. The person who consume most of the times is the raw food or most of the times is the cold food. When the ground level is coldness, for example, just now has been gone the winter season. Through the winter season, the ground level is affected to the lower portion of the buttocks region, anal region. Also will enter the energy, which we call as a Mooladhara energy. So that energy ascends upward direction, coldness will prevail and goes internally, and the people who consume the cold things, also it causes the constipation, diarrhea especially. So normally we consider as a diarrhea which causes is due to heat and due to heat. We generally say heat is excessiveness which causes diarrhea, and most of the times you believe that when the dampness is excessiveness or the coldness is excessiveness, especially in the colon, and obviously that causes the problem, it causes the diarrhea. Now the large intestine is really attributing to the spleen. So normally we can consider that the people who causes the diarrhea we consider is one topic I told, it is coldness, excessiveness in the colon, and the second could be the reason I can say when the spleen is taking care for all the transportation and transformation in our body. What we take the food, so that can be scattered to the across the body through our spleen system. When the spleen gets descended downwards direction instead of ascending, then that causes the diarrhea. So therefore the spleen also major role in order to control the diarrhea, and Professor Dr. Anton Jayasuriya has written in his textbook spleen 4 for diarrhea. Very long time I could not able to understand why spleen 4 for diarrhea. Since the large intestine is related to the diarrhea, then this is the lower connecting point or the necessary point of the spleen, and when the spleen gets descended downwards direction of the energy, that causes the diarrhea. Therefore he manipulated the Bungsun is the spleen 4, and also applying the moksha can be applicable to instant relief for the diarrhea. So therefore now diarrhea is not related to the large intestine, but one reason is large intestine, the people who consume the cold foods and raw food and acidic food more, and obviously sometimes it causes the problem.
Any raw food like raw vegetable and fruits also?
Yeah, raw vegetables absolutely it is essential. When there is a coldness is there, early morning you are taking the raw food. The climate also supporting us a coldness, and also you are taking the cold raw food. and sometimes it is not advisable. You need to balance that. Obviously, the person who consumes the raw vegetables, when you crush and chew it, you take it any kind of the vegetable, it is abundantly good for our health. At the same time, when the coldness is excessiveness, you need to balance taking the heat substances or the greasy foods also advisable. Now look into some other way. So one is the coldness is excessiveness is causes the problem. Whereas in the constipation, so what could be the reason? That also here the traditional Chinese medicine says when the person have the excessiveness heat in the colon and which causes the constipation as well. You understand? For instance, the person who take the oily food, greasy food, spicy more food, so always he consume in that way, slowly will go on accumulated heat and also it plays up on the tongue. You can see there is a redness and there is a coating of the colon. You feel kind of cracks, small cracks or kind of the redness on the capillary region.
Ulcers.
All these the ulcers. All these things we indicating that it is excessiveness of heat in the colon. So how to balance this? Well, there are the certain points in our body like Li1, Li2, Li3, Li4. So these points works for the sigmoid colon, ascending colon, transverse colon, ascending colon, etc. So therefore we need to manipulate based on that. So which is excessiveness, which is deficiency. Because of 5 evils which I told you. One is dryness, coldness, dampness, hotness, heat, wind. So these are the evils. At the same time, they are the very close associates or friends to us. Anything when the heat is excessiveness, then imagine and think about which is the heat point of the large intestine. When the dryness is more prevailing, the people who consume more dry foods, especially dry fruits, you can take it, or maybe the people who consume the solid foods and they doesn't take the appropriately the intake of water. When the water is always is required after half an hour is recommended of the food. So take maximum quantity of the food water which it is applicable to your body. It's not like that the person need to consume 3 liters of water or 2 liters of water. Whenever to quench your thirst, so we need to take the water. So that water is maximum what is required to suppress your thirst. So that much it is required. That means your cells is asking to your body to nourish in the form of water or moisturizing to our body. Once you moisturizing, so wherever you want to drink, which tissues are required, you cannot pour the water to the same tissue. So you need to ingest it or can you drink through only the digestive system or through the mouth itself. So therefore, once we take the water and that moisturizes to the whole tissues wherever water is required. You understand? So when we take very minimum water, obviously the stools also will convert in the form of dryness. So therefore, even you can see the people today, they immediately once they get up from the bed, they consume without washing their tooth also. They take around 1 glass, 2 glass, 1 liter of the water. So doctor has been suggested that because of in the whole day you are not drinking the water, consume the water in the early morning, walk for some period of time, then it passes the elimination of the feces. You understand? So what could be the reason this? Why it causes this problem? Again, it is another reason which we call as a sedentary life also. The people always who sit in the places, the office places, obviously it causes. Apart from that, the people who doesn't take the proper diet also could be the another reason. Always for the cleansing what is required. The natural sattvic food is required, that which we call as a more alkaline, and then 20% of the acidic and 80% alkaline food is always required to our body in order to regulate our whole system. And another reason which we call as emotionally the person causes, especially when the person is good mood, happy, presentable life, their bowel movements also there. And once you get up in the morning, and once it doesn't process the emotion, the whole day will spoil your day. You understand? Because of more lethargy. miserable life, unhappy. This causes because of there is a distension in the abdominal region. There is a movements in the colon. There is a sounds in the colon, borborygmus, etc. So that causes the problem. So therefore, obviously, emotions also, which is a major role in order to regulate our system. What are the emotions for the lungs? What are the emotions for the lungs? Emptiness, sadness, worries, grief. Sister brothers, all these related to the process the mental body which gets the impact on the colon and also coupled organs, lungs. So integratedly it is required. Emotions are good, so the lung system also good. So therefore, integratedly we have to understand about the intake of the food and diet, and further the emotions also play a role. Then as per the TCM physiology, how the system will work in our body. Normally we understand the person who gets the asthma. So even pulmonologist I can say that he think only the lung system until unless we cannot correct to the large intestine system and we cannot segregate or we cannot clarify the problem of the respiratory system. At the same time, the person who is suffering from the alimentary system who takes the gastroenterologist and the person is suffering for asthma also, the person is suffering for the bowel irregularities also, then we do consider to providing the enema or other proton pump inhibitors, etc. So at the same time, what is required? We need to think about the top. The top is not descended or because of the accumulation of the colon, vice versa. So both integratedly, since acupuncture is a short-term course, you have the long-term answers in order to treat many ailments if you understand appropriately. You understand? So now this is the major physiology, always you keep it in your mind forever. Right? So one is lungs means large intestine. Large intestine means it's lungs. Any one, you just correlate it to that. So obviously you will get the right answer.
So you talked about the consumption of water before even brushing the teeth. So is it recommended or not?
When the person is suffering for the bowel irregularities or the constipation, that time we are advisable to consume some heavy water. Otherwise it is not required. See, and the body is asking you each and everything. That means, for instance, now the colon is required water. Then it will ask you to drink the water. So we will be in the office, we will be the driving, or we have some other work. So we are not providing the water on time. Even dryness is more within you. So we are not given appropriate water to moisturize our system. So thereby it is advisable. One more secret I would like to say. The people who consume the water in the early morning 2 liters or 3 liters. So maybe whether they have constipation, some people that is the other category. The other category of the people they doesn't have constipation, in spite of that they drink a lot of water. So even this, after prolonged use of the water in the early morning, definitely they causes the pain in the calcaneal region. That means on the heel pain definitely they will get after some period of the time. And ask them to stop that water and certainly there will be changes in a month time.
The natural process of natural process, external process for natural process
aloe vera juice.
So what can be taken, you need to say. So I can advise taking castor oil is a natural laxative, and even water also advisable. Put it some oil or put it with honey also. So you can use it that has a lubricant effect that it improves the more lactic acid in the colon in order to eliminate the motion.
What brand I have seen? What brand?
Oh,
The brand for almost 99% it kills.
which one?
The what brand? Outer sheet.
Okay, sheet,
Yeah.
yes, yes.
Even the chronic constipation I have seen, it gives instant relief.
Wait. Make it more down and the also is and good food down.
Pregnant women are always constipated.
I take water early morning every day.
Amount? How much?
once I open my eyes, I just
one
directly
thing
go
there,
to water
like,
and
when
have
we
a
drink
glass
water,
of water. It's my
One
habit.
glass.
We drink
Yeah.
water while having food. Almost
Then
everybody
I'm
drinks
raw
water while
vegan. I
having
take
food.
only raw
One thing
vegetable,
I
raw
have seen, animals
vegetables
never drink
till
water while having food. They drink
That's
separately
not
and
good
eat
for
separately.
breakfast.
We have to learn from them. Animals are more
I'm studying
intelligent than
nutrition and
humans.
diet, right? So raw vegetables and this raw stuff, it's not advisable in the morning. Leila.
She left. Her sister is pregnant. She left to. She went to meet
Thailand. Thailand, right?
Yeah.
Nice. You know, the three things are essential in your diet: carbohydrates, proteins, and fats. So fats need to be consumed for smooth digestion.
Yes, I
Yeah,
take
like
fats.
healthy fats like
I
ghee.
take no ghee is not
Ghee is
healthy
so
fats.
good. Ghee is
Come
good.
on, no.
Ghee is really good.
No, I take coconut oil every morning.
That's
And,
good.
yeah, and nuts. So many nuts I take in the morning.
Nuts is good, but like he said, too much dry is gonna like cause heat in you. And one more thing, olive oil. That is really
Olive. I use only olive oil and coconut. Sorry.
Olive oil is not good when you cook it. The raw consumption of olive oil, you know, too fine these fats, right? They have like long chains and all that carbon and hydrogen chains. So when you cook olive oil, they become dangerous. Yeah. So raw olive oil is very good. It's use a salad dressing and all that, not frying papada.
All these physiology, where it is situated, where it starts and where it terminates. Right? So now the superficial energy starts from the previously we have seen there is a pulmonary system, the lung system, where it was started, where it was terminated, exit and entry point. Lungs starts from the chest and terminates on the finger. Where the energy terminates, there is a place to ascending again. Here it commences from the finger axis. Now this lungs has been completed on the thumb. Then from the thumb cannot connect to this system, index finger. Before that, which we called as a ramification, which we called as a pathway to communicate to the second and right. So therefore there is a lead tube, or which we call as a LU7. So which this connection to communicate to the large intestine. From through here we communicate to the large intestine. So this will not jump to the large intestine. So therefore now there is a point is the large intestine 1. It starts from the index finger. Then it ascends upward direction on the lateral side of the hand. Then it passes to the shoulder region on the abdomen. From this it goes to the neck region. Further it moves to the cheek region. And finally the energy ends on the opposite side of the nose, or which we call as the M.Ac. So this is the pathway. Some of the authors have written it ends on the same side, some authors have written in the opposite side. But I believe it ends on the opposite side. The total number of this area is how many points? 20 points. Right, now we will see that this pathway which we call as a primary pathway or we call as a superficial energy pathways. So number 2, we need to say the divergent pathway. Divergent means is the difference, separation, also which we call as a muscles pathway. Right? So always the divergent pathway of the large intestine will commence from the shoulder region. From the shoulder, it goes communicate to the C7, that is on the A14. Then further from the Li15 GMQ, so that communicate to the stomach 12. Then further this energy communicates to the lungs region. So these are the 3 different places where the divergent meridian will communicate. This is not so important, better you need to understand. So once Li15 you have applied, then how can we relieve for the cervical pain? So if you know the deeper energy pathways, you feel happiness to leave the people. Then further you just think about the sinuous meridian or the sinuous pathway, which we call as a gym, is a pathway. Gym is sinuous. What the sinews is a strong tissues which is connected to the muscles to the bone system, muscles to the tendons, tendons to the bone system will communicate this sinuous system. Always you remember once the sinuous pathways starts and ends from the bone to the joint, from one place to bigger joint, from one joint to bigger joint, from third joint to fourth joint, etc. For instance, starts from the index finger and binds on the wrist region. Again it ascends from the wrist and binds on the elbow region. From the elbow it binds on the shoulder region. From the shoulder it binds on the neck region. From here and finally it binds on the junction which we call as the gallbladder opening. So there are only the 4 sinuous points which is existing in our body. Among them there are the 3 yang meridians communicating. Sinuous meridian point is situated on the scalp is only one point, that point is junction, that is gallbladder 13, 3 tune lateral to the anterior hairline on the temporal region on the palatal head. This point is situated. Muscles and tendon. This is the influential point, but this is the sinuous point. Only there are the 4 points, but still we look into that significantly. But finally, this will end up on the sinuous meridian. Now, large intestine is applicable for the headache, and it ends on the pai hui also. So now you just treat Li4 is the distal point. Why Li4 is treatable for headache? If you know because of large intestine it grows and it here, then it ends here and there is no connection to the large head and there is no connection to the large intestine. Now you just think about the interior energy pathways. So again it ascends from the large intestine, passes to the shoulder region. From the shoulder region it communicates to the pulmonary system. From the lungs it descends downwards direction, which is fattening organ. Goes to the large intestine, right? That is the pathway, no? We are talking about large intestine. Bus from Bangalore to Mumbai need to go, right? So that means there are the junctions in between. But that is the pathway should reach somebody among all the people. Somebody need to go for the different places. You need to get down in Maharashtra, so you need to get down in Nagpur, you need to get down in Pune. So this and that you are going over there, that will going to stop. You understand? That will stop. But destination is Mumbai. That should go. Therefore the large intestine is ends here, but where is the destination? Should communicate to the colon. How will it communicate? Through the interior energy pathways. Once it starts from here,
I did.
The significance of this point is Pudial point, or which we call as the Jingle point. And also it is air point, it is horary point. Tonification or sedation point. The timings are the Shang Yang. The first point is Pudial point or the Jingle point. So, what is Jingle point? It is a description of the Jingle point.
First aid points.
Yes, it is a first aid point. Very good. Whether it is commencing, exit, or ending point, which starts from the nail base, or it ends on the nail base, which we call as a Pudial point. So now this point starts or ends on the nail base. Starts. Where it starts? On the nail base. Then it is Jingle point. Then further, it is metal point or air point. Right? So this is large intestine. Which element? Air element. You know, there is a formula and principle that all the yang meridians, Pudial points starts from the metal, whereas in channels comes from the wood. There is a formula. And now this belongs to the yang, starts from the air, and it is horary point. And also it is the tonification point or the sedation point. How can be applicable? Now 5:30, if you want to elevate the energy so that you can increase the energy. If you want to decrease the energy, 6:30 you can decrease the energy. So this is in the morning time, this is AM. 5:30, 6:30 AM. So now when have very low energy in the colon, what is the organ clock timings or the energy timings of the lung? Yes, the maximum time is 6 p.m. have abundant energy. Yeah, it starts from the 4 and maximum have at 6 a.m. It is already have enough energy. So therefore it is recommended to all the people who are suffering for the bowel irregularities should go and pause for the motion at 6 a.m. in the morning. This the whole world can give the evidence for you. Every people will rush in the morning between the 5 to 7 in between. There is totally rush on the restrooms. Right. So now 6 p.m. have very low energy in the colon. So that time you can abundantly provide the energy to the colon. See, when you have hungry, so we can nourish the food. If it doesn't have hungry, then providing the biryani also sometimes it is not acceptable. You understand? So 6 p.m. have abundantly required the energy. That time is maximum energy can be given to the colon. Now, what are the indications can be applicable for this condition? Tell me what are the indications can be used for this LI glands? Constipation. Good. Then,
Skin.
why it is skin?
Because air. Because it's meridian.
Lungs open to the skin folds and related to large intestine.
Very good. Because of water passages can be taken place through the lungs and large intestine. To opening and closing of the pores can be taken place only in the edge element organs. Good.
That's why somebody when you eat garlic, they can it will come to the pores. They can smell the garlic to the pores, to the lungs.
Yes, it is evacuating. And whenever sweat glands is open, so can be able to hear or get the smell. That olfaction can be treatable by using this one. Then,
For sneezing and cold, it works. Sneezing and cold, it works.
very good, very good. See, this is the only one point can be treatable for all the colon related disorders. Since it is the beginning point of the colon, but also this can be segregated. ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಶಕ್ತಿ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು, ಕಡಿಮೆ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಶಕ್ತಿ ಇಂಟೆಸ್ಟೈನ್ ಕರಳು ಹೊಟ್ಟೆಗೆ ದೊಡ್ಡ ಕರಳು ಅಲ್ವಾ, ಸಣ್ಣ ಕರಳು ಸಮಸ್ಯೆಯನ್ನು ನಾವು ಗಮನಿಸಬಹುದು. ದೊಡ್ಡ ಕರಳು ಸಮಸ್ಯೆಯನ್ನು ನಾವು ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ ಬದಲಾವಣೆ ಕಾಣಿಸ್ಬೋದು. ಒಂದು ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್
So 6 p.m. is the place where you should eat maximum food. 6 p.m. is the time when you should eat food.
It's not like that. It's not like that. But 6 p.m. we can wind up our food. That is recommended.
But Jains eat before sunset.
Yes, before sunset. So that is applicable. But what philosophy behind that, really in a spiritual way, I doesn't know that. But one way, this also we want to imitate with the birds, animals, right? So that means the whole day they do the business in order to consume the food in the daytime. Before sunset, will return back to their place to take the rest, right? So they don't take further any kind of food. Yeah, there are the other mammals. They start after sunset. They come to the field. So there is a cycle. But still, I believe 6 p.m. have required more energy to the colon. But in the 8 p.m. is the low energy of the stomach, have contractions will be more in the daytime, even in the night time at 8 o'clock. So therefore, before 8 o'clock, taking food is recommended. And taking at even I do a mistake, taking sometimes even 7 o'clock, 5 o'clock, I will wind up in generally most of the time is my dinner. So you understand? So what we consume the food. So we want to wind up before sunset. That's recommended. So still now you understand this. Now there are the many indications. Now how we need to understand. This is simple technique. So based on that, we can do the analogy and to find out the indications. Once the energy where it starts and where it terminates, the whole meridian pathway indications can be applicable to treat by using this one. For instance, finger numbness, pain on the wrist region, pain on the elbow region, pain on the shoulder region, tooth-related problem, nose-related disorder. Now, the large intestine connected to the lungs, therefore pulmonary system disorders. Then specific tissue of the lungs is, tell me, skin-related disorders. Then what are the emotions? Sadness and worries-related disorders. And which organ you are treating? Large intestine. What are the indications of large intestine? Then bowel irregularities. Is the loose motion, or either it is kind of dysentery, or it is the hard bowels. All can be treatable by activating this one.
With irritable bowels.
Obviously. So which we named, which is not named, so relevant to that particular organ, can be treatable for all indications. Now you understand about the large intestine. One is the abundantly you can use, but use the lancet. So this is the point where Li1 is situated. So this is whether we need to apply only the needle. Sometimes needle itself it doesn't work. Then most of the times what is required, take the lancet or the 3-star needle, or you just take the plum blossom is not advisable. Better we can use it as a lancet, prick and then bleed it that point. So bleeding is always good for the gluteal point or gingival point. So which is accumulated the stagnation of that meridian, whole meridian pathway, that will come out. Always you understand, when the person is suffering for the acute condition of any ailment in our body, so that is due to the yang excessiveness, it causes the problem. Therefore, when she is feeling that pain on the shoulder region, or heaviness on the hand region, or maybe kind of dull pain on the cervical region, anything which is acute, then there is excessiveness, the energy has been accumulated over there. Drain out that by using the bleeding technique, and certainly she feel instant relief by using this. Or the people who are suffering for the even skin related disorders, bleed it and then withdraw the blood for the 1 drop to 10 drops. It is recommended, so that also abundantly gives relief for the various conditions. Please proceed.
Sir, ask the question. Like there is some controversy now regarding acute MI, where we can read all the 10 figures near those twice. And there is a lot of controversy in the debate going on.
No, nothing like that, but sometimes it's good. See, acupuncture is very quite big subject. As I mentioned maybe very earlier, we are studying as a macro acupuncture. There is another acupuncture which we call as a micro acupuncture. There are the meridians which we call as the original body meridians. Their meridians is micro meridians, horizontal meridians, divergent meridians, right? Sinuous meridians. This is small meridians, micro acupuncture points, right? So all these things, the philosophy is different from one to other, right? So in that case, anything on the nerve endings can be taken place, especially on the nail bases. Once you trigger that, then it have the vasovagal tone, and also it have the more adrenergic effect, and it passes the energy boost to the upper part of the head. So once the blood flow to the upper part of the head is good, then certainly there are a lot of cardiac related disorders and brain related disorders also can be treatable by activating those points.
Have you seen any live examples of this acute MI?
Yeah.
Have you seen any live examples like this treatment?
Did you see?
I
I've
seen
seen for the epilepsies. I've done with the epilepsy. I've seen with the K1, where I said about this GV medicines. Instant result. Just pressing the things for 2-3 minutes, conscious person.
Yeah, obviously that is there from the even that have the adrenergic effect.
That's about it's 9 heart attack. Just you said about punching.
But this is all 10.
See, there is no controversy here. There is no need to debate this, but this is true. So which we need to understand the critical points for emergency, where the well is required. So when we use well, to drink water for our home, right? Pink spring for the area of the people. Shoe stream for the people of more number of the people. River from city to city. Sea for the whole global area. You understand? So valley, it is required for emergency. When we drink water, water is required. First, when we go to sea, we go to river to take water. So we walk for or we go for travel for 1 day to see the river to take the water now. So therefore, only the crucial points can help in order to bring down for emergency cases. Anything emergency, the word comes, you take it any kind of a disease. If there is a very constipation for the last 3 days has not gone, it has been accumulated in the sigmoid colon and in between the rectum, it's not passing off. That is emergency. When the person is very acute pain, yeah, now breathe, you're going to stop. That is emergency. When the person is drowning, that is emergency. When the person is fainting, that is emergency. When the person is shocked, that is emergency. Right? Fits is emergency. So any emergency, the critical points will help. So which we need to select. So think little. What is required? So which organ is situated here? Whether, as I mentioned, you mentioned that it is MI, myocardial infraction, H9. You obviously you understood. You just apply H9. Also you apply, that could be the reason either heart or could be the reason of the pulmonary system. Use LU11 is the general point. Use H9, instantly the breathing can be taken place appropriately. The pain can be subsided. You understand? So that how we take as the sublingual tablet is the sorbitrate, etc., isosorbitrate. So instead have the relief, the similar way that also have the good effect for the cardiac region.
What finger?
Yeah, any one finger is enough. If you want to use integrated, there is no harm in that. You can use it. You can use it. So now large intestine 1 is have abundant related disorders, and you imagine that anything which is accumulated in the large intestine, anything which is accumulated in the sense organ, that is the nose, or in the throat, tonsillitis, or the nasal septum, or the adenoids, so which is accumulated in the objects, then you understand there is the excessiveness of the large intestine which causes the frontal sinusitis, which causes the adenoids, and which causes the mucous membrane related disorders. Then what we need to do? Just to decrease the energy of the large intestine, that itself have the abundant relief for the various disorders. Not Farima, not entering. Slowly you can understand that. Right? Then further we'll go for the second point, is heart Qian. Heart means tooth. Qian. Qian means shoulder. Please write down the location in the depression on the distal to the head of the second distal to the head of the second metacarpal bone. Second metacarpal bone. Carpal bone. At the junction of white and black skin. The junction of white and black skin. Now, where this point is situated, you can able to see here. At the junction of white and black skin, the large intestine 1, the large intestine 2. How to understand this point better appropriately? So you just see the fingers and see the web margins. These are web margins on the dorsal region, on the ventral region web margin. The web margin comes, so this is the head of the second metacarpal bone. Distal means below. You can find at the junction of white and black skin. So this is Li2 on the web margin side. This is web margin side. You can see Li2 here. Right? So wherever the point is situated, always try to find out the depression on the bone, very less points, below the bone, or proximal or distal to the bones. All the acupuncture points are situated. So therefore this point is Li2, is B-seated. So what are the significant role of Li2? Sun point, sedative point, then water point,
In spring sponsor. Spring again.
In spring point, equation of this point is Li2 is equal to UB67. Li2 is equal to UB67. The timings are 6 AM on 4 AM. So Archean, always you remember this is the second point is sun point, that means it decreases the energy of the large intestine, but also it is depleted, and this point belongs to the water point, and in spring point, large intestine sedation, it passes energy to the urinary bladder. Energy passes to UV. Li2 is equal to UV67. So now any related to the urinary bladder disorders can be treatable by sedating the large intestine too. That is the philosophy by using this point. And whether we use UV67 that takes the energy from the large intestine, or if you apply UV67 Li2 that from the large intestine energy moves to the urinary bladder. So therefore, what are the indications can be treatable by activating this point? Colon disorders and bladder disorders both can be treatable by activating Li2. So now you just write down few indications for this: bowel irregularities, frontal sinusitis, headache, shoulder pain, hand numbness, skin related disorders. Then further it belongs to the leukorrhea disorders, white discharge of urine, then irregular cycles, infertility, shortness of breath or breathlessness, then as I mentioned is the polyps in the nose. When have the breathing difficulty because of it is more accumulation in the mucous membrane or polyps inside the nasal septum. Then UB67 belongs to the water element. Then ear related disorders, gut related disorders, bone related disorders, all these can be treatable by activating this point. Then what are the appropriate timing to use? See, timings is as per the theoretical part I am telling you to apply the point on that specific region. So 6 AM, large intestine have more energy in the 6 AM. So that time we can take the energy, right? Take the energy to pass some other organ. Then the urinary bladder timings are 4 PM have more energy. More energy, that time we want to provide the energy? No. When have low energy, we want to reach to that particular organ. 4 AM have low energy. Now 4 AM in the morning also not applicable. 6 AM morning also not applicable. Then when we want to apply? Anytime. When the patient comes to you, that is the right time to apply to the patient. So but still, in our society, or especially in our home, everybody is sick. For them, we can use the point appropriately on the timings. It's better. You can feel the desirable results. So hopefully you understand where is Li2 and what are the properties of Li2. And further we'll move to the Li3, that is Sun Qian. Sun means tree. Again it is Qian means kind of shoulder. So please write down the location. In the depression, proximal to the second head of the metacarpal bone. In the depression, proximal to the, that means above from the second head of the metacarpal bone. You see where is the second one we know See now it is Li2 on the back margin on the medial side. Then Li3 also situated. There is the head of the metacarpal bone just in the depression at the junction of white and black skin. Li3. So please be seated. So whenever she show you, try to find out on your body where that point is situated. If you have any doubts, and please try to clarify, or when we go for the practical section, that time we will finalize. The importance of this point is, again it is shoe street point. Wood point, sedative point, grandson point, distal point for nose and eyes. The equation of this point is Li3 is equal to GB44.
So actually, what is a distal point?
That also distal point. This also distal. So appropriate timings is 6 AM is equal to GB44 12 noon. Now it is the third point, that is shoestring points are most important to treat for the pain management. Always remember, any shoestring point, either young shoestring point or the in shoestring point.
Body shoes.
There are the third point, that is general, mainstream, or the energy points. So these points are especially, now this belongs to wood. The in shoestring points belongs to the spleen, always earth points. The earth points and then wood points can be treatable for all the pain management disorders. Right? So now the third is, it is sedative and it is the grandson points. This is the distal point for the nose and eyes as well. And also you can use the Li3 or you can use GB44, either two among the two forms as a single point. So hopefully you can understand the appropriate timings to treat these points is 6 AM in the morning or the 12 noon is advisable. Right. So now I have shown the figure here. So large intestine and the gallbladder. Now You just tell me the indications. What are the diseases or the disorders can be treatable by using this point. For example, see gallbladder problem. See now, it is large intestine. ಎಲ್ಲ ಕರಳು ಸಮಸ್ಯೆನೂ ನಾವು ಗುಣ ಮಾಡಿಸ್ಬೋದು by using large intestine cream. ಪಿತ್ತಕೋಶ ಸಮಸ್ಯೆಗಳು ನಾವು ಗುಣ ಮಾಡಿಸ್ಬೋದು. Right? Yes, obviously there are the many. See, we don't want to name it that. Right? So you can use all the gallbladder disorders, or you can use all the large intestine disorders. Because of in the traditional Chinese medicine, one organ cannot exist without the support of other organ. So therefore, the large intestine is communicating to the gallbladder is communicating to the large intestine, vice versa. So any imbalance in between these two organs, to making the equilibrium, to making the balance in between these two organs, either you apply Chio in, which we call as a GB44, the another point which we call as is Sun Chian, the third point of the colon. Use any one point. Now, general indications I would like to say. Please write down. This point is the best point to treat for all the shoulder related disorders.
Gallbladder.
We'll come to that point.
Okay.
Just write down. This point is good for the shoulder disorders. Then further, it is good for the elbow pain, tooth pain, and also the sole of the foot pain, sciatica pain. Frontal sinusitis, foot pain, and the respiratory disorders and bowel clearance. As you have mentioned, is the cholelithiasis or the gallbladder stones also can be recommended this one. And in fact, Li3 is applicable for all the pain management. The whole body pain, you can use Li4 and also use Li3 is applicable for any kind of the pain in our body. Any part of the pain in our body, so we can treatable by using this one. I'll tell you the combo combination of the points. Once I completed another 2 points, I'll give you one. There is a link to connect from one point to another point to third point. Integrated, you can treat for all the pain disorders. So hopefully you have understand about the third point, and the fourth point is the most important point for the clinical acupuncture. In the depression, at the center of the border of the second metacarpal bone, so there are the many authors has written various locations. Highest point of the wrist muscles, also which we call as a L4. There is the highest muscles. So these muscles also which we call as a L4. But where appropriately the point is situated. So exactly you just try to locate the metacarpal bone, the second metacarpal bone. At the center, This is metacarpal bone at the center, at the border of the bone. So this point is treatable and also applicable where it passes towards the pericardium 8, that is lacum. So once you apply the needle, that goes towards the center of the palm. You understand? So therefore this point is very good point, as I have mentioned that this is distal point. Please note down distal point for the face, neck and head. This is the point which we call as a great eliminator. Eliminator, anything eliminator which is existing more heat in our body, or which is anything which is accumulated, we want to eliminate that. So it also works as a detoxification point of the colon.
Other source point.
This point also which we call as a source point. What is source point?
It will access the chi of the particular organ. It will access and manipulate the chi of the particular organ.
Essence.
Yes. Then
Chronic illness, emergency.
okay. Then what is source point? That is what I told you in the beginning class.
Where it comes from.
It receives
Vital
energy
energies.
from the coupled organ, which is coupled organ of large intestines. Again, going exam ಆಗ್ತಾ ಯಾಕೆ ಉತ್ತರ ಕೊಡೋದಿಲ್ಲ. So it is communicating point. What is logo connecting point? It is communicating point. What is source point? Also it is communicating point. From where? Yes. It receives energy, luo connecting point, transfer the energy, but it receives energy from the larynx, from the lungs to the colon. From the lungs to the colon, there is a communicating point, is a life. See, now this point is abundantly we can use for the typical and atypical, or it is useful for noun and unknown diseases. So now, for instance, the person is suffering for the nose problem, the person is suffering for the vision problem, the person is suffering for the tooth-related problem, the person is suffering for the facial paralysis, person is suffering for the frontal head, temporal head, occipital head, neck pain, etc., etc. So this point is applicable for the pain management. Wherever pain in the body, this point is applicable. You just apply on the strongly, you just manipulate this point in order to get the relief for whole body pain. Right. LI3, as I mentioned, good for the shoulder pain. Then integratedly you can add up as a clinical acupuncture is LI4 also. Right, both the points. And there is another point there is situated half zone proximal to the LI4. There are the 3 points which we call as a combo points of the large intestine meridian. Those points are situated on the metacarpal bone. Number LI3, LI4, then there is one more point. You just apply in between, in the depression, between the first and second metacarpal bone in the depression. So you find Li4 in the depression, you go up, there is this bone and this bone. The first bone and second bone in the depression. So these points 1, 2, 3. क्या बोल रहे हैं सब चीज़ों के लिए हम लगा सकते हैं for pain management. Even when you do the electrical stimulation to this point strongly, even this point can be helpful even for anesthesia as well. Right?
Is it a combination of all three is used for anesthesia?
No, it's not like that. Li4 is advisable, but 3 points is the combo points is used for all the pain management. Especially you can see the sciatica, upper limbs pain, lower limbs pain, both the pains can be treatable. This is the great secret which I have given you. There is an integratedly microacupuncture and a macroacupuncture. Together I have given this combination as per the image correspondence of the whole body. So these points have been initiated here. Why this? Huh? It's very nice, but also listening.
Sir, if you put electricity through here, will the patient go into anesthetic state?
Yeah, they will feel that kind of numbness in the body.
Can you give P6 in LI for electromyogram?
P6 is strongly not advisable. P6 itself will give the vibration. Then another vibration is not advisable. 5 meridians are not advisable for electrical stimulation in general. So now, where this point is situated, come on.
Here. Which hand? This hand or this hand? That hand.
See, all of you to know where that point is situated, whether known or unknown cases, when the person in the home somebody is suffering, you just give the pressure. Don't apply the needle in the beginning. You just apply the pressure. Deep pressure, even 3 minutes once you apply the pressure. So any kind of the headache can be treatable by activating this point as a general pain management point. Right? Even there is a pain on the tooth, so that is Li4 and ST44. Most distal points is work wonders of the various disorders. Tooth is somewhere that you are applying to the most distal point is ST44. Why ST44 is for the tooth pain? Correct. So where it starts the energy, stomach point starts from the eye. It descends, it covers the upper jaw and also it covers the lower jaw. Either it is upper tooth pain or it is lower tooth pain, can be treatable by activating the Li4. Understand? The person is suffering for the nose problems or throat related disorders or the head related disorders or the hand pain, for the knee pain, sciatica pain, scapula pain, lower limbs pain, you can treat by using this point. There is another point which I have mentioned. Where there is a depression. There are the 3 points on the one line. 1, 2, 3. These points which we call as a combo points for the pain management. You understand? But these 2 points are not applicable in the macroacupuncture. So this integratedly I add up that is the micro and macroacupuncture together. So these 3 points will be helpful for the treat for the various pain related disorders. So then further, so what are the indications in generally? The person is suffering for the cold, cough and chest related disorders. Since it is receiving energy from the lung, applicable, skin related applicable, gastrointestinal disorders applicable. You understand? Maximum diseases. If there were times of pregnancy, you know, this stands for you. This stands. ತಗೊಳ್ತಾರೆ ಅಲ್ಲ ಸರ್ ಇವರು ಒಬ್ಬರು fifth point is
This sandal.
M.C.
Moxie. It's from America, Latin. Smells good. I burn it later.
So please write down the location. S.D.C. In the depression between the extensor pollicis longus and extensor pollicis brevis tendon, which we call as the anatomically snuff box. This point is situated, you just lift the thumb upward direction and you can find there is a hollow which we call as a depression. So there are the two tendons I have mentioned, extensor pollicis longus. Longus you remember in your mind, thumb is long or index finger is long? Index finger is long, therefore index finger tendon is extensor pollicis longus. But now on the thumb side, both are thumb only, but try to understand, long bone is extensor pollicis longus tendon, this extensor pollicis brevis tendon. So in between these two tendons, the point is situated, that point which we call as a bone. Yeah? C. Not C. C. So now what are the importance of this point? Please write down, this point belongs to the Jim River point, which we call as a transitory point. There is another name, Jim River point is transitory point. Then it is grandmother point, tonification point, tonification point, then it is fire point. Equation of this point is Li5 is equal to Si1 and Sanjo1. Li5 is equal to Si1 and Sanjo1. So the appropriate timings are 6, AM. AM or PM? Why? So this belongs to grandmother point, right? It receives energy to the large intestine. When the energy is required for the large intestine, either AM or PM? Then you just mention PM, why you are sleeping? Then is equal to SI1. What are the timings of SI? 2 PM is the more timings. In the 2 PM we can drain the energy of the small intestine. And also triple warmer. What are the timings of triple warmer? 10 is the maximum time. So 10 PM we can drain the energy of the triple warmer. Now what are the indications? This is the combination of the small intestine and large intestine. Communication can be taken place by activating the Li5. Please note down the indication. This is the best point to treat for the constipation. Constipation, there is another combination which we call as a Li5 plus Angio6. Both points are applicable to treat for the constipation. 6. And Li5. So Li5 being a grandmother point, it abundantly provides energy to the large intestine. Therefore, all the large intestine disorders can be treatable by activating this point. Especially this point is used to treat for the shoulder pain, neck pain, and diarrhea. Even to control the diarrhea or constipation, both you can use this point. Okay, so yes, obviously you can use for the psoriasis as well. Yeah, you can use it. For all the digestive related disorders can be treatable by activating this point. Large intestine 6 is Yangming. Yangming. So please write down the location. 3 chon above or 3 chon proximal to the large intestine 5. The line joining from the Li5 to Li11. The line joining from Li5 to Li11. This point is Nexary point. Nexary point, or we call it as a loop connecting point. So it transfers the energy from the colon to the lungs. Source point from the lungs to large intestine, the lower connecting point from the large intestine to communicates to the lungs. Body is present, absence of mind, no? So now generally the person is suffering for any complaints on the hand, especially when there is a shoulder pain, we go and take the X-ray, etc. What is happening inside, but the traditional Chinese medicine says, or the Indian complementary medicine says that, so could be the reason where the shock Li7, the Chinese name is Wen Liu. So Wen Liu, the point is situated 5 chun proximal to the wrist crease, that is 5 chun above from Li5. 5 chun above from the Li5. So this point is accumulation point, brimming point, C-cleft point, where the maximum energy has been occupied at that specific point. Each and every meridian there is a point which we call as a C-cleft point, where the energy is maximum energy stored in that particular place. When that has been stored, it has been not moved that properly. So once you apply, the energy gets scattered of the whole meridian in order to flow smoothly to that particular organ. So therefore, any problem on that meridian pathway, you just try to apply that point in order to improve the flow of the energy of the whole meridian. So then what indications in generally this is applicable for all the large intestine disorders, or maybe in terms of hand pain, shoulder pain, nose pain, headache, all these things can be applicable for using this point. Then LI8, coming points are not so important point except one point. LI8 is Samiullah. Please write down the location. Fortune distal to. Distal means below. Fortune below from the large intestine 11. Fortune distal to LI 11. So these points is not so important, but the point is situated only below the elbow. Then that point acts for the local point or local effect. The patient is complaining the pain on this region. You just try to manipulate or stimulate that point and certainly have some effects in each and every acupuncture point. So when there is a point is situated on that particular region, the pain or maybe some disturbance are there. So activating that point and certainly will improve the micro level of energy, the vicinity of that area in order to get the relief of any kind of the disorders affecting on that particular region. So now Samiullah, which is situated fortune below from the LI11. Then the another point is, ninth point is Yangming. This point is situated 3 chun below from the LI11. 3 chun below from the LI11. These points are not so important, but LI10 is most important point. Shaw Sunday. LI10 is the most important point. You just write down 2 chun distal to the LI11. Where is LI11? Very soon we will see. But LI10 is situated 2 chun below from the LI11. So then this point is very good point to treat for the frontal headache. When you doesn't have the needle, then just you give the pressure on the LI10. So we'll get the instant relief for the headache. Frontal headache or maybe any kind of related. Then this point also the special property which we called as a motor recovery point. Motor recovery point. So there are only the few points of the motor recovery points in our body to treat for all the paralysis disorders or which is connecting from the brain to the periphery. Actually always the sensory points or sensory system, once I picture, she will get pain. So once you get pain, the brain has given signal to this place. Before that, these muscles given the intimation to the brain that I have pictured you. Then where is the motor nervous system? When the signals come directly from the brain to the parts. Periphery means the various parts of the body. You understand? So therefore, this special property of LI10 is used to treat for all the correct, even including brain, especially the hand paralysis or the paraplegia. So single side paralysis or only the hand paralysis can be strongly activated. This point can be treatable to lift the hand and also to reduce to improve the maximum sensation to the hand. Then the most important point is the line 11, that is Chu Chi. This is very among the points. The most important point is LI11. Please write down this belongs to the command point, but this is E.C. point, or it we call as a conjunctory point. Conjunctory point. And further, this is earth point, codification point. This is mother point. The equation of this point is Li11 is equal to stomach 45. The appropriate timings is 6 a.m. is equal to 8 a.m. At this point, which we call as the homeostatic point and immune enhancing point. Immune enhancing point. The points are situated on the large intestine meridian, and this is the point, is the most important point which I mentioned. How to select this point? See, always you remember, this is the most important point. So when you semi-flex the hand, once you semi-flex, this crease which we call as a cubital crease, there is a tendon, the tendon which we call as a cubital tendon or bicep tendon, but you just see the lateral end. This is lateral side, this is the medial side. Lateral end of the cubital crease, there is a point which we call as a chuchi. So like this you cannot apply the needle. Better to analyze and understand, semi-flex the hand and then apply Li11. So this point, just try to find out all of you where this point is located. So totally don't flex totally, you just semi-flex the hand. Semi means half. Half flex the hand and then find Li11. So sometimes you should apply on the medial side, but you should not do mistake. This point is always situated on the lateral side. You understand? So now please be seated. So what are the importance of this point? Here in the subtle way, the short way I can say, whether you know the disease, you doesn't know the disease. So then you just do apply the method. Since this point is homeostatic point, immune enhancing point, tonification point. You understand? So anybody comes to you, then don't apply in that way, but the analogy and understanding about the disease is most important. But for instance, when you are very hungry, Anna Sambar will get in the hotels. At the same time in the restaurant you will get the very delicious. There are the 3 different types of the biryanis and other also. Even for the Arabian hotels you will get very delicious food. So both are same. When you take Anna Sambar also it will get, stomach can be filled. When you take the very delicious dishes, that also you can fill in the stomach. You understand? But at the same time, when you want to use Li11, diagnosing the disease, based on that you need to apply the point. But still when you take the Anna Sambar, when you take the appalam, when you take the pickle, or when you take the bhajis as a side dishes to take more food, if deliciously you want to taste and you are using it. Anna Sambar itself is enough to fill the stomach. still you take as a budgies or maybe some kind of appalam. Why do you take? Why do you take? In the similar way, this LI11 also, it is applicable to the human body in order to improve our whole system, immune enhancing effect. But if the leukocytes or the white blood corpuscles will increase in our body. You understand? Once will increase, there are the small things attacking to your body, so easily you can be able to susceptible or acceptable for that condition. When you have more immune system, that will destroy all the pathogens from the throat and from the nasal septum. So in order to destroy there itself should not enter into the lungs. So therefore, to improve that immune system, tonification and also the homeostatic. Homeostatic means in generally we can say heart rate is, respiratory rate is in your control or involuntary control. See, certain things, movements is, it is our control. Heartbeat is involuntary control. The cardiac rate, respiratory rate, the thermodynamic effect internally, it's not in our hands, that it regulates in their own. So to maintain the equilibrium of the internal health status that we call as a homeostasis, external homeostasis, both can be integratedly taken care of by using the LI11. So therefore LI11 is abundantly you can use for most of the indications. Whether the person is suffering for the knee pain, you just apply LI11. Elbow pain, apply that point. Shoulder pain, apply that point. Headache, apply that point. Back pain, apply that point. Or the gastric problem, apply that point. Constipation, apply. Dysentery, you just apply. Diarrhea, you just apply. So most of the indications, the vision problem, you just apply LI11. Since you are not treating that particular ailment or particular organ, but the whole body you are regenerating by activating this point. Such an abundant point which is existing with us is LI11 is a chuchi. You just apply this point for the various indications. So this point is the last point of the command point. That is a conjunctory point where there is a E.C. is the communicating point. And this belongs to the earth point, tonification point. It mother point obviously. What happened? Once you apply, as per the physiologically what happened? There is a communicating point from the large intestine, from the stomach, it moves energy to the large intestine. The stomach fortifies, sedates, that energy boosts to the large intestine, LI11. So therefore, all the stomach disorders you can treat, all the intestine related disorders can be treatable. Now you can see how this point is so important because of the stomach is the central organ in our body. Whether when you have taken the food itself is the medicine. If you are not taken appropriately, causes the stomach disorders. When the elimination process has not taken place appropriately, that causes the intestinal related problem. As per the Ayurveda, the constipation is the cause of the disease. And as per the stomach has been accumulated or stagnated, that causes the many diseases. Integratedly, stomach have good function, large intestine have good function, obviously the patient feel well-being of the health. You understand? If these both organs are malfunction, obviously the whole system gets here and there is the pain or scratching, one or other issues it may cause it. So therefore LI11 is abundantly you can use to treat for the stomach disorders and also you can treat for the large intestine disorders. Now correlated to the sense organ, correlated to the specific tissues. Come on, so which is the point for the stomach sense connective tissue? All the muscles related can be treatable by activating this point. All the skin related can be treatable by activating this point. What are the sense organ of the lungs and large intestine? All the nose related disorders can be treatable. At the same time, all the mouth related disorders also can be treatable. The whole system has been integratedly involved by activating this point. Whether it is important or not important. Then whether you need to apply or you don't want to apply. Just to try this point, you doesn't have the needle. Activate by using the finger pressure itself. Whether you take the jimmy or whether you take the pressure applicator, just activate this point to treat for the various side effects. So hopefully we have seen the most important points. Coming points are not so important points. Now the points are situated on the region as a local point.
One question. One question. There is one child. He has constipation issue by birth. So like he passes school once in 4 days or something. It's great difficult. So we can give children small children.
At the age of 1 year, at the age of birth, we can treat that by using acupuncture as per my knowledge. And we have treated for the 1 month child to the old geriatric, till geriatric conditions. We can treat for the children. Now through the birth is the habitual constipation is there. And obviously what could be the reason, really the pathologically we need to find out by doing the maybe ultrasound, etc. And further, if there is a problem, there are the certain tips. Even Dr. Sajan told there is a tip, and also the intake of water is apparently required, exotic food is required, fruits are required. Apart from this, still they are finding difficulty, then we can use the large intestine step by step. So because of the points in the large intestine works for the sigmoid colon, ascending colon, transverse colon, descending colon, sigmoid colon. All the colons, single point will work. Li1 for the ascending colon, Li2 for the transverse colon, Li3 for the descending colon, Li4 is good for the sigmoid colon, Li5 is good for the rectum. So therefore, step by step you just try to apply and then ask them to sit for the motion at around 6 a.m. in the morning. Make it a habit. So maybe there are the certain lubricants are required in order to lubricate. But here is advisable as a castor oil in the natural form, not in the market what we do. So in this way you just add up certainly that have added advantage in order to regulate the motion. So still it is finding, then enema also it is required.
In paralytic ileus is causing constipation.
Oh.
In paralytic ileus causing constipation, so what is solution?
Yeah, in that condition also we can use Li10 as a motor recovery point. So obviously that have good effect to the colon. So strong stimulation, even in that condition, Moxa is strongly advisable on the stomach 25 and the stomach 27. So these points are the local points to improve the heat in that particular region, also Li10. And also remember Li14 is the motor recovery point. Then further Li12 is Sulio. So please write down the location 2 chun above from the Li11. 2 chun above from the Li11. When the arm is extended. When you want to locate certain points, for example, Li10, Li8, Li7, arm is extended. Locate. When you locate like this, now I have mentioned 2 chun. 2 chuns are here. So the point is here. When you extend it, so there will be 3 chun. So therefore, when the arm is extended, from here is 2 chun. Right? Actually, we should not fold and locate the point for the chuns especially, like 12. When your arm is extended, then you locate 2 chun. Right here. When you want to locate in this direction, then it will become 3 chun. Yeah, arm is extended from here. Where is Li11? There is Li11, semi-fold. You got it now. Then extended. From here is 2 chun. So this point acts as a local point, whether this point is used for the tennis elbow and also good for the elbow arthritis. Then Li13 is hand, harsho, woolly. This point is situated 3 chun above from the Li11. 3 chun above from the Li11 is Li13 and woolly. Then the 14th is important point is Dinav. Write down the location 7 chun above from the Li11. Li14, 7 chun above from the Li11. So there is another location which we call as the lower end of the deltoid muscles, lower border of the deltoid muscles. So where normally the Western doctors will give the injections on the hand on the deltoid muscles. So lower portion of the deltoid muscles is Li14, or we can select 3, 3, 6 and one more chun above. 7 chun above is Li14. So this point is good point to treat. This is the alarm point for the shoulder. If there is a shoulder pain is there, so when we want to give the pressure to this point and we can see that the pain is more and something is unique pain is there on that region, then it belongs to the frozen shoulder or kind of the shoulder pain. Then you just apply the needle over there to improve the muscles activity of the deltoid muscles in order to improve the hand activities of mobilization. Then this point, the person is suffering for the hemiplegia or the one side paralysis. On that condition, patient could not able to lift the hand. So that condition, Li14 is advisable to strongly manipulate on that specific point. Then instantly the patient can able to see there is a changes. Right? So therefore, Li14 is good for the shoulder pain and also good for the paralysis patient who could not able to lift the hand to improve the muscles activity. Then the most important point is another point which we call as Li15, that is Chian Yu. Li15 is Chian Yu. Chian means in generally shoulder. Please write down the point is situated on the anterior depression of the lateral border of the acromion process. Acromion, A-C-R-O-M-I-O-N process. Acromion process, where the point is situated. Now how to locate this point? When the arm is abducted, you just lift the hand and there are the two dimples, two depressions. Where you can see the eye, there are the two depressions. In the similar way, the hand also two depressions, anterior and posterior. Right? In this anterior depression, this point is situated. Posterior depression, Sanjo 14 is situated. So note down this point when unable to lift the hand upward direction. On that condition, the point is inserted in the deeper section on the downward direction, where the point is situated here. In this direction, you just apply the needle from here. So needle should go deep and strongly manipulate. And then the patient asks them to lift the hand, and easily with stimulation, the patient can be able to do the mobilization. If the shoulder point, shoulder pain comes to your mind, then as a clinical acupuncture you want to use, then LI 15 is the choice of the point. Sanjo 14 is the choice of the point. SI 9 is the choice of the point. There are the 3 points. Is a great useful for the shoulder pain. Gland also applicable by activating this point, but strongly even surgeons are advisable to do this procedure. Or some of the points, for example, hot needling method. When you take the big needle and then ignite with the fire, once the needle turns in the red color, then there is a goiter. Instantly, quick, withdraw the needle instantly. You just apply strongly and then withdraw the needle, but sometimes see that you should not do that procedure just as a theoretical thought, try to understand. But surgeons are advisable to do that procedure since you are working on the gland. But sometimes most of the points on the lumps or glands, or maybe on the any kind of the swelling or distension, we should not apply the needle on the platelet, but vicinity of that area it is advisable. So now the 19th point and 20th point more or less is important. In line 19 the point is situated. Where it is situated, please write down the location. Point 5 lateral to the upper part of the filtrum of the nose. Point 5 lateral to the upper part of the filtrum of the nose. Filtrum, P-H-I-L-T-R-U-M, filtrum of the nose. So now there is a point which we call on the filtrum, which point 026 and 27. Both the points are situated on the upper and the lower. Filtrum means this is a filtrum, there is a curve. So in that there are the 2 points are situated, 1 by 3rd and 3 by 4th. There are the lower portion also there is a point. is the most important point, can be treatable for the epileptic fit of friend-told one. So DU26. So these points were situated 0.52 lateral. Where is the nostril? Below the nostril, this point is situated. So now the point is Ho. Ho means in Chinese nose. Nose, helio. Helio means healing of the nose. So that means if the nose related problem can be treatable by activating Ho, helio or nose, helio point. Right. When the loss of smell, anosmia disorders or any nose related disorders, sneezing, cold, congestion, etc. can be treatable by activating a light. 19, this point is same point, you can apply the needle on the region. Right. So then the last point is in Siang. In Siang means welcoming to whom? Welcoming to fragrance, welcoming to beauty, kind of smell. Right? So there is a anosmia which we call as a loss of smell sensation. You could not be able to feel any kind of smell. So that indicates welcoming to smell is all the smells you can welcome by activating in Siam. Right, where the point is situated, please note down. At the middle point of at the center of the nasolabial groove, at the center of the nasolabial groove and Adv.Ac. M.Ac, Adv.Ac of the nose. Right, where this point is situated. So now you can see there is a line 19 point below the nostril, right? Then Li20 nasolabial groove. Where is that? You slow, you feel the crease. Dimple is required for all the women. So who doesn't have the dimple, you come here, so we'll create the dimple for all the women and men. Even you just strongly stimulate this point on the stomach 4 and the stomach SI18 region, strongly stimulating it causes the dimple. So therefore this point is locked. See, you can find that this is which we call as a naso, labia means lips, naso means nose, groove means there is a curve. So that you can able to see here. Now once again. Right. So that point is situated on the center of the nasolabial groove and Adv.Ac where there is a joining. So now Li20 is good for welcoming the fragrance and nose helio for all the nose related disorders. Now you can understand maximum headache related diseases, stomach disorders, intestine disorders is Li11, right? And then shoulder problem, right? Further it is nose problems and welcoming the smell. Many things you understood today, right? You are happy or unhappy?
Very happy.
So you can able to treat the patient.
Not yet.
Not now.